Turn to ban. Newbies. Turn to ban.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Chinese qualifiers for Captain's Draft 4.0. Thank you so much for joining us here. It is our last day of action for these qualifiers. We have 3 teams left in the mix, 1 team waiting in the grand finals. Of course, that is going to be Vici Gaming. But now we have Newbee versus LFY, a rematch of the upper bracket, of course, from TI7. A very exciting match indeed. A full best-of-3 series between these 2 teams to figure out who moves on and who will be out of the running to head over to Washington, D.C. for Captain's Draft 4.0. We are into the draft. We're into the bands. Thank you so much for joining us today. We did have a bit of a waiting period here as LFY had some internet issues. They are all good now. We are into the game, into the particular draft. Thanks so much for joining us here on MoonducktV. My name is Mop. With me today is Base Kip. How are you doing today, man? You doing all right? You excited for today?
Yeah, I'm super excited for today. Should be really good. Can you hear me okay? Because
Yes.
you sound like you're a little bit underwater to me.
That shouldn't happen. Hold on.
Maybe I should reconnect.
I don't think it's a me issue.
Okay.
But I'll be, I'm sure Nikki will tell me if there's an issue. It might be a me issue. Hold on.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Okay, so I really want to start talking about this draft quickly because I feel like these captain's drafts they go by super fast and we need to, there's a lot to talk about. So I think this is a very probably quite a strong pool overall. For whatever reason, one of the heroes that stood out to me was the Wraith King. I think AA Wraith King could be really strong in this setup. There you go. Newbie gonna pick it up.
Nice. Easy.
It's such an easy combo, such a strong lane. The Wraith King only really had 1 counter in the pool, and that was at least in terms of mana burn, that was the Anti-Mage. There is still an OD there as well, but I don't think that's as concerning for Wraith King as Anti-Mage is. So they ban out the AM, they pick a really strong lane to start things out. There's still some really good position 5 heroes remaining in the pool, and LFY, maybe they go for like the Kunkka Disruptor, make their lineup just completely impossible to escape from. Once you're committed to a fight against those 2 heroes, there is just 0 chance that you can actually disengage between the Glimpse and the X and all of the other control that they bring to bear. So could be something that we see from them here.
Is there a possibility for that Arc Warden again? We saw that yesterday from Vici Gaming. That was a bit rough for Newbie to play up against the Arc Warden, by the way. That would be very interesting if LFY pick it, but I doubt that'll be the case. I don't know. I always see these heroes and I'm just like, it's probably not going to be picked, but there's always that potential, and it could just destroy if it does. So,
yeah, you got to be a little bit careful, right? He's one of those heroes. I think you even talked about it yesterday, right? That there are certain heroes that are these like power heroes or gotcha heroes, where if it's the very last pick and you're not prepared for it, it can just completely win the game all by itself. Stuff like Alchemist kind of comes to mind. I guess Broodmother before some of the recent changes was also up there. So we'll have to see. And LFY, I like this that they're actually taking some time here.
yes.
To think about how they want the rest of this draft to play out, because we did see one draft yesterday from them go really poorly. That was that second game against VCJ Thunder. They lost all their lane. They lost every lane.
Yep.
They got completely steamrolled.
It was like we've said a lot. It was a disaster for that LFY team. So obviously, both of these teams, they kind of struggled in their own right yesterday. Between Vici Gaming, LFY against VCJ Thunder in one of those games. They will take time and they will pick up the Visage for now. By the way, confirmed, my mic is fine. You scared me, but I'm good. So
that's okay. It's just me, but that's okay. I can deal with.
You just got to reconnect, buddy.
Yeah, I'll go for the reconnect in a sec. Maybe after we get out of the draft.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, but okay, we got Visage Razor, good single target burst. The Razor is, I guess, interesting against the Wraith King in that if you like survive the initial onslaught from the Newbie side, then maybe you can get off a good static link, and that's going to be a really big nuisance. But I think one of the big things about Wraith King as a hero is that he is fairly bursty. It depends on the build that you go for, of course. If you go for like the sort of Hail Rake build with SNY, Blade Mail, Radiance, that kind of thing, then you are wading into fights a little bit more. But we do also sometimes see kind of the blink Deso jump in, blow somebody up sort of a build. So I think it's going to depend somewhat on what the Wraith King goes for here. We did see a reason, even though they lost, there was a reasonably successful Razor game yesterday. That was that last game that we cast.
Kama for VGJ
LFY.
Thunder.
Yeah, had a pretty solid performance. He didn't even. It seemed to me that he didn't even have that many items, but was still doing a ton of deeps.
Yes.
So looking forward to seeing how the Razor does in this game.
Absolutely agree completely. Kama did a great job that game. Wasn't his fault they lost. I think the biggest thing for LFY in terms of their players has been Monet. We saw it on the CK in Game 3, in the Void in Game 1. So if Monet has a good, and this is just kind of a sound strategy, I guess, for any team. If your carry has a good game, you're more than likely going to win. But they will be up against a Pugna for Newbee, so kind of a faster pushing strategy. By the way, guys, I want to apologize if you hear Sir Action Slacks yelling at the top of his lungs. He's upstairs. They're currently setting things up for Midas mode, and I can hear it. And let me tell you, it's more than a little distracting. So
I can't.
Damn it.
End, but maybe the stream can.
I don't think they can. I'm just being an asshole, kind of. Slacks came over. They're doing all fun stuff.
You're teasing Midas mode, dude. You're teasing.
Let me tell you, dude. You haven't. I don't think many people have seen what we're doing for Midas mode and what we're doing here in the Moonduck house. I think you guys are going to be really impressed. I think there's a lot to look forward to. I also think that this could turn into an unmitigated disaster as well. So who knows? But Midas mode is right around the corner, folks. Just a couple days away.
Excellent. I'm excited. Going back to that thing that you were saying just before about making sure that your carry, if your carry has a good game, you're probably having a pretty good time. I think that is especially true in this particular patch. We've seen some carry heroes just get completely out of control.
Right.
And Newbee, this is so brutal. This Pugna plus Dream Protector, they've got so much push themselves, and now they've got really good ways to defend their own buildings. So we could end up seeing another really one-sided game in terms of the towers taken, which was was it the Newbee series?
Yes,
yesterday.
I think so.
It was like all the outer towers taken, and because Vici were so reluctant to ever give them a single building, right? They were
ATP
playing
for tier ones
so perfectly.
Yeah, it was really well done for Vici, and Vici just kind of felt like they were on another level in that last series yesterday. So Newbee, they had to go back to the drawing board, and they say, okay, you know what, maybe Pugna's the thing. Now we have the Treant Protector to keep our towers alive. The Wind Ranger coming in for LFY will provide a bit more push for them. And then the Enigma for Newbee. So some even bigger push coming out from Newbee. They don't have too much to cancel Black Hole as well. It's not that big of a deal. Shackle Shot being one of the big ones. Obviously, Torrent and Boats and maybe Familiar drops, but that's about it. And KP on the Enigma should have a pretty good game here. I think as a last pick, this is really solid stuff, Base Kip.
Yeah, Enigma is one of those heroes, like we were talking about, that I think can win you the game all by himself, and it's a sort of a unique trait to have in an offlaner as well. I can't think of too many other offlaners that have that sort of like 1v5 factor in the right situation, but this is looking like a really good Enigma game, like you're saying. Not that many great ways to cancel it. I love the extra lockdown that they've grabbed at the end of the draft to help kite the Razor, help kite the Jug. You know, LFY are pretty reliant on laying down right clicks to actually do damage, so that control is going to help a lot. And they've also got the sort of the stalling factor from the Treant Protector to let that Enigma get to the point where he just kind of wins the game all by himself, right? That's that sense of inevitability where if this Enigma gets his blink, BKB, Octarine, Refresher, whatever kind of a setup we see from him, could be pretty crazy. Also, they're not even terrible at taking Roshan because of the Wraith King. So maybe we see a Refresher Shard Enigma at some point this game, and I think that would be completely backbreaking if you're LFY.
Which is interesting because in the last 2 or 3 days of Captain's Drafts, at least for China, we haven't seen any Refresher Shards because we've never gotten to that third Rosh. Either the game goes on super long, but we've only taken like 2 Roshans, or, you know, the game ends super early after 1 Roshan or even before that. So it has been an item that has not been picked up by any of these teams in the previous few games. But looking at the draft, the Enigma last pick, do you think, do you like Newbee's draft a bit more here than LFY at the start of this game?
Yeah, I definitely do. I like the fact that they've got more AoE. I don't think their lanes are necessarily stronger, but I think they just kind of have a more guaranteed early game. I feel like the Pugna is always going to get them at least a tier 1 somewhere, I think the Wraith King plus AA is always going to do decently, even if they do get potentially aggro tri-laned. I think that might be the plan here for LFY, so I like Newbee's draft a bit more.
Newbee will probably know. I personally like it because of the Enigma pick. I think it's very good for KP. I also like the fact that they have a lot of pushing potential. And sure, LFY have the same with Visage Familiars and the Wind Ranger, but it comes down to the laning phase. And I think Newbee, they're kind of ready. They know that there's nobody coming out top lane. They have a good idea that the rest of LFY are in their own jungle. So Newbee will move together. They have Chilling Touch at level 1, which makes them a bit stronger. Even if they fight 4 versus 5, it might be a bit dangerous then, but they should be okay. There's a ward that has been dropped down. Newbee might know this is here. Monet's going to walk up to the high ground. They do have no sentries for Kaka or Faith, so they're sitting on a ward. Here we go. They're looking for Torrent, perhaps. Monet, they're just going to let this be. And not only that, Newbee are going to get 3. So that was perhaps not the best play from LFY, only getting 1 bounty rune. KP gets 2 bounties for himself. He's rich. He's actually just rich now. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's been really interesting to see the change in like the bounty rune split, going from taking the 2 on your side of the river to, I think more commonly it's become like one team takes 1 pair and then the other team takes the other. But we even see sometimes moves like this where maybe Newbee anticipated that LFY were going to make some kind of 5-man rotation, since it's likely that they're going for an aggro tri-lane, and they knew that they could potentially come down and contest with 4 and then grab 2 with just the Enigma.
They're going to use the Nature's, or rather the Wraithfire Blast. They have the Nature's Guy sit coming out as well. The good Torrent might keep Monet alive. The Chilling Touch almost getting enough done. In fact, Monet sits at 50 HP. He will salve. And I was just going to say, fighting into a Wraith King AA Treant Protector tri-lane is kind of rough. And Monet already throwing out a couple of Nature Guys. Yeah, the Chilling Touch still on him. So Monet actually has to be very careful against Kaka. And all of a sudden, this lane is a bit hard. They'll have to wait 20 seconds for the Chilling Touch to be back up. But still, this is a bit dangerous here for LFY early on in this game.
Yeah, while Jug doesn't have spin, it's a pretty tough situation. It's actually fairly difficult, as you can see, for him to go up for CS. Monet is being pretty cautious. Knows that the Wraith King has plenty of stuns to use. In terms of top lane, Enigma, some pretty solid denies, but Inflame actually doing quite nicely on the CS, which is good. I'm not actually sure what my expectations for this matchup were that.
Bottom lane, Nature's Wrath hit coming out. They have the Chilling Touch, DDC, 1 more auto attack, and it's going to be Mugi that gets the job done. Blade Fury. Kaka's got the Nature's Guy still getting chased down. The Blade Fury is done. He's got Tangos to work with as well. And again, this tri-lane, there is a lot of damage coming in. Wraith Fire Blast, Chilling Touch, and the Nature's Guys hit. The Chilly Fingers, as Grant would say from Faith, doing a lot of damage here.
I miss AA's old model when he had like the ice fingers.
Yeah, dude.
Remember that?
Yeah. Classic. Monet might be dead again. No Nature's Wrath, or excuse me, no Blade Fury available. They have another Wraith Fire Blast. Mango will come out. 10 seconds without the Blade Fury. Good Torrent. They need 1 more auto attack, maybe. More than that, in fact. The Salve comes out and saves his life, and Kaka might drop for this. The X-Mark's coming in. Nature's Guy's fade time, but they had a sentry there, and so it's actually going to be 1-for-1 trade going the other direction, and now Mugi's in trouble. They have DDC. Not enough mana for another Soul Assumption, but again, Monet has to use a lot of regen to survive in this bottom lane, so they will get the trade, though. Not that bad for LFY, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, nice little turnaround, but I feel like this aggro tri-lane is not going the way that they were anticipating. Jug only has 3 CS, because he keeps being forced to use the spin and then can't really go up to the wave. And he's getting plinked away at. Maybe have gotten a bit more control back since they've gotten rid of that sentry, so Kaka's got room to work with. And I wonder if they're going to keep this up. I think their 1v1s are going decent.
Nature's Guys hit. Torrent coming out. Mugi Soul Assumption. Wraith Fire Blast will come out, but he's going to fall. There's the Leech Seed. Monet might trade his life for this. In fact, he will, looks like. 1 more auto attack. Kaka's going to give his life up, probably. Afu, now slowed down by the Ice Vortex. They'll turn to 1-for-2 trade. And again, the big news there, getting the kill on Mugi. So now LFY starting to get a lot done in this bottom lane with the Soul Assumption dishing out the serious damage from DDC.
Yeah, helpful that they've got the level 2 on the Kunkka now. Takes a little while for him to come online, especially since they don't really have another reliable setup. I don't think Grave Chill really counts. So the fact that Afu is just about to tick level 3, it's going to be a pretty big deal. He's actually grabbed the bottle here on the Kunkka, which is
that's great.
pretty interesting, but pretty sick sustain for this tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, actually. If he can if he gets a bot rune here, or even just the bounty.
He's going to find an invis for himself. The RNG works out in his favor, and this is probably a great rune to set up on mid. In fact, Pugna is going to walk over SCCC. I think he saw Afu. I don't know if he saw the invis. Afu actually hasn't popped yet. He's still running in mid. He'll drop a ward in the meantime. SCCC doing okay, and CS, in fact, is actually ahead of Super. Yeah, the scan comes down. Now they know. They know somebody's here, and he is not moving away from this tower. And in fact, because there's no Kunkka bottom as well, you're wondering, all right, where is this Kunkka at? I just need to be careful. I can Nether Blast the wave down. He also has Decrep, which might keep him alive. Now they're turning. The X marks Torrent coming in. Nether Blast doing some serious work. There's the static link. They're going to get dove under the tower. TPs are going to be too late. It looks like SCCC bottling up. Not there in time. Afu getting dropped, but he's going to bottle and survive. And now Faith is getting whipped down. Super dishing out the damage, 147 of which going from that Pugna. Still is able to get away. Kaka can't get in there for the Leech Seed range. And that will be a 1-for-0 trade. So Newbee, even though they know the Kunkka is missing, SCCC still gets ganked, and then he cancels his TP mid. Oh, that's a classic.
That feels bad.
Yep.
Oh, at least somebody's getting the experience. This new unstable current from Super actually turning out to be pretty helpful in that last little skirmish that they went for. I don't know if they get the kill without it, but
it's level 2, by the way. Usually you see a value point. It's a very good value point, by the way, right now. At 1 point for unstable current, it's 100 damage. It does actually do a fair bit later on when you level it up. It's not the best in terms of scaling, but meanwhile, bottom, Wraith Fire Blast, Monet's going to get caught, although he has the Blade Fury. Mugi, he has wand charges plus a range drop. There's the soul assumption. He's going to stay under the tower. Monet's going to fall for this. The dive came out almost when we're auto attack, but Mugi will stay alive. Afu getting caught by the Ice Vortex. They have 5 stick charges for Ancient Apparition, but he needs 1 more to go. Good Torrent will keep Afu alive. So instead of it being a 2-for-0, it will be a 1-for-0, and Monet is back down bottom. That is his 2nd death of the game, going in the way of Newbee there. And good stuff.
Yeah, Alpha still had 10 stick charges, so I think he was okay pretty much no matter what. Top lane, fairly close, but KP has a ridiculous number of denies, in fact. He's actually
wow,
a level and a half ahead.
That's insane. Yeah, here, not even kidding. His experience advantage is significant, and it should be. I guess with Eidolons, it's pretty easy to deny things, but this is against a Wind Ranger who has actually decent damage and a good animation, so he's done a great job, although the fact that KP is ahead in this lane is not surprising. KP is a fantastic offlaner, right up there with a player like Young 11, who we've been giving a lot of props recently. And
yeah, I want to see that rematch. For sure. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind either of these two teams playing against Vici.
I think it'll be hype either way. We saw LFY versus Vici earlier on in the tournament, but the Newbee versus Vici matchup again, we saw also. That was in the upper bracket final. Either team is going to have a rough time against VG Gaming, so they need all the help they can get with like a warm-up here, essentially. Anyway, that's not important.
Yeah, we got plenty more Dota before we get to that.
Exactly.
Jumping on mid.
Super is really speedy. Phase boots, when he pops him, he's got quite the movement speed. Although, speaking of a speedy hero, Pugna is up there too. He's got baits and boots and a windlace, and he's already got high movement speed to begin with, so...
Yeah, it certainly helps against the Razor here.
They have a pretty good understanding that somebody's nearby. I think they saw Faith, even though Kaka is Nature's Guised. They're going to be able to spot him out, know that he's not bottom. And that will mean Super is going to be able to avoid this gank in the mid lane. And they also...
Mugi's doing a good job still grabbing some farm here and there with some aggro tricks. Just pulling individual creeps back to himself. Not getting harassed too much.
Yeah, he's going Armlet first, which I suppose makes some sense. Get involved early.
Yeah, I think this is fine. Gives them the opportunity to exploit the Pugna's timing a little bit more. He can kind of just roll around, grab some kills. Not a terrible farming item either, really, for the Wraith King. Wraith King's one of those heroes. I think it's like Wraith King and Lifestealer, where if Armlet is bad on those two heroes, then it's probably just a bad item. Huskar's probably like on that list as well.
It's an interesting way of putting it, actually.
Well, they're just the best with it, right? So.
Oh. SCCC, he's already used Decrep. Super almost at the range to get the kill again. Pugna's so damn fast, he's going to be able to make it out. In fact, he almost does arcanes as well, so... but that's just the scary thing for SCCC is that Super can just run him down with phase. That's a bit disconcerting, especially considering he's going 4-step as well. Super wants to be able to chase and catch up to a lot of these heroes, and he'll be able to do that.
He can't save himself, right? Because if he decreps himself, then the unstable current, if it's up, can actually just purge it off.
Right, very true.
Dispel, which is pretty... tilts this matchup a little bit. I would say that before, it's pretty easy for the Pugna, because if he ever gets gone on, he can just decrep and run. But with the new unstable current... Ooh, and this is a big sneaky smoke from LFY. They immediately shove mid. They've left Kunkka illusion there a little bit suspiciously, but I mean,
Kaka might be dead. They see him. They're going to go on him right now. Mugi's going to walk up. The dust will come in the Blade Fury. There's the Chilling Touch. Monet needs to be careful. Mugi doesn't have his level 6 yet. He's getting very close. The Torrent's going to come in. He's got Wand Charge. He's going to get dropped down, and there's that sneaky smoke like you mentioned. Getting a kill out of it, taking Mugi down. But in the meantime, when you leave a Pugna alone in your mid lane, you're going to lose some damage on the tower. And in fact, it's going to get chunked a fair bit by the Nether Blast from SCCC. Kaka is sitting right on top of this Kunkka, Afu, Ice Vortex, Wraith Fire Blast. There's the Cold Feet. This will give Mugi level 6. In fact, he has it beforehand. He's going to hold the point for now. I would imagine he will save it for whenever he gets ganked again. But he will be able to survive a bit easier with the Reincarnation now up. And just because he dies doesn't matter. He still gets back involved and gets a kill, which I think is really important for this Mugi Wraith King.
Killing your level 1 ulti on Wraith King just feels so bad. Especially if it gets popped as you're getting towards level 12. It's like, oh man, I could have saved myself 80 seconds.
That's not great.
Rotation up top. Super's just behind the tower.
Yeah, he's in trouble, KP. He's going to drop the black hole. It's going to be onto Super. The tower hits, doing a beautiful job, and KP might get another. The wind run comes out from mid flame. He will survive. Meanwhile, they get a kill bottom onto Monet. KP with the 2-man black hole. He dropped the Midnight Pulse first. They almost had him with one more auto attack coming in from the Razor, but KP was ready. And he's going to get a free shrine to go with it as well. That is a great kill for Newbee in both top and bottom.
They desperately needed that shackle to connect. I don't know if they were trying to latch it onto an Eidolon and he moved it out of the way, or what happened, but that was just a terribly ill-fated gank. I think if they get that, they could probably get at least a little bit of damage on the tier 1, especially since... And it was a pretty safe rotation since SCCC had been forced to back off. Right. So they weren't going to lose too much at mid, but yeah, that's the power of the Enigma with the turnaround. And
now the Enigma is level 11. He's 1,800 gold. Meanwhile, mid lane, SCCC is going to decrep himself. The birds will come in. 1 stun, 2 stuns. Decrep's about to end. He's got Life Drain. The Nether Ward will come out. He's going to drop the Nether Blast. Life Drain's still available. He will bottle himself up for now. DDC looks like they will take that Nether Ward down, but the gank was not successful between these two supports. Yeah, and there's Mugi jumping right in. Ice Vortex. The pings are coming out. Mugi, Wraith Fire Blast. He does have the Reincarnation still skilled up, and he's ready to fight and continue on pushing here. And Newbee are suddenly getting this giant advantage seemingly out of nowhere here. They skip.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're just starting to get stuff done across all 3 lanes. The farm is exploding. The Enigma is already looking gigantic, right? 2.2k on top of his Midas. KP's game is, I think, 100% guaranteed at this point. There isn't really any way to stop him. And if you're LFY, that's very scary. It feels like they might not even be able to find... normally when you have these big cooldown ultimates, you're talking about finding a window while the big ulti is down to go and get something done, but I don't know if that's ever going to be an opportunity.
I was wondering KP's item. It feels like this is a perfect mech game because you want to group up and push together. Maybe he just went Blink Dagger, actually, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love that, but I thought he might pick up the mech instead just to get this siege engine going. Instead, he will have a blink ready. They will need to be careful. Black hole is on cooldown for another minute. In the meantime, Mugi's getting a lot of space bottom. His armlet is now flying out as we speak, and all of a sudden they are putting a lot of pressure on a lot of these tier 1s across the map.
Yeah, they're just... I mean, Monet's going to kind of sit up here and watch as this tower takes some damage. Should be able to hold on to it for a bit longer. They do have a glyph, nicely timed. But what else are they getting? DDC and Afu with a pretty long rotation. Looks like they're going to try and head all the way up to top. At least both of the supports have level 6 now. So they have quite a bit of playmaking potential. Some good kill potential as well.
This tower
They
is...
might get this catch up top.
This is going to be close. They really want this tower, and they have no idea the supports are coming behind. And they will get a kill bottom on Poor Inflame again. KP is sitting in the tree lines. They have the Eidolons to come in, Nether Blast. They'll take the tower down. Can SCCC get out? Malf is coming in. Monet has the Blade Fury. The Kunkka looking for a Torrent perhaps, and SCCC is out of mana completely. The X marks Ghost Ship. He's going to decrep himself. The Blade Fury. He's going to die. Decrep will only add to his inevitable death as Monet will spin him to win and get the kill. So they will lose SCCC. They will get a tier 1 tower, not only top but bottom as well, as Moogie gets the last hit. And it's actually not that bad of a trade because they also get Inflame in the bottom lane while that was all happening as well.
I think Newbee are perfectly happy with that exchange. And okay, Windrunner is going to come in here and get a couple of these skeletons, but not a big deal. Just Inflame, what's he even going for? He's going to be going for a drum. Nothing too shocking. He is the most, like, I'm looking at his inventory, it's not that impressive, and then he's also the most farmed tier on the Dire side, which
is impressive. Well, for him it's impressive, concerning for the rest of his team, absolutely. But again, he had kind of a pretty good lane until he started getting denied like crazy by KP. Uh-oh, they need to be careful. Black Hole Blink is available. They're going to Malefist one of his familiars. He's going to use the drop down. It'll heal back up. SCCC is on the hunt. They're going to drop another ward down. They have a ward, though. Here they come. They're looking for SCCC. KP is going to be in the sidelines. X-Marks will come out, Torrent onto SCCC. He's still fine. I would imagine Newbee are going to D-ward here in a moment, realizing that there's probably going to be some vision. They will try to take down another familiar. This one still has the stone form, and he won't even need to use it. So DDC is doing a good job microing. In fact, they pull everybody from Newbee over to this bottom lane, or rather the top lane, excuse me. And Newbee still can't find anything, but there's the D-ward that we were talking about. Newbee probably find a kill or two there, had there not been that ward up in the high ground, but that is going to be D-warded almost instantaneously. And now Newbee are going to try to set up mid and try to defend this tier 1 tower that is still getting a bit low here.
This is a pretty nice move from LFY. I think they're wasting a lot of Newbee's time. Just kind of head top, force all the TPs, head mid, all the while Monet is just hitting some creeps down bottom since he needs a bit of catch-up time after the way that the tri-lane versus tri-lane played out. They got some kills, but he's just kind of traded, right? 2, 3, and 2. Definitely needs to get up an item so that he can start having a bit more of an impact. But KP's kind of realized what's going on, and he's doing the same thing. Just going to start working his way towards his BKB, because like we said,
there's nothing to cancel it.
There's nothing. There is really nothing that they can do once he picks this up. So
I don't know, short of like a basher or something. But even that's not going to really work, so... Yeah, I don't know what they do.
Played Aether Lens.
Yeah, that's it, dude. That's the play. That's how you do it, man.
Let's go, Monet. Cue it up.
We will see if that's going to be the thing. No, it definitely won't be. Monet's working at a Diffusal Blade right now. The Glyph will come out. They will try to push in the bottom lane. The offensive Glyph, I should say. Kaka has the Overgrowth. They're going to TP bottom. Ice Blast is sailing in. Smart back from LFY. Ice Blast will miss. They're going to actually drop down the Overgrowth. But here comes Moogie. Blink Dagger is up. They have the Wraith Fire Blast. There's the Malefist, the Midnight Pulse, and the Raindrop will not save him from that damage as Moogie gets a couple of crits to go along with it. Did they deny the tower, or did it get taken down? In fact, the Dire did get it with the Siege Creep. So, yes, they will lose DDC, but again, Newbee, they also commit a lot of heroes down bottom, and again, now they have to TP in mid and try to push Super off this tower as well.
LFY exploiting somewhat, well, at least until the Wraith King Blink came up, the slight lack of catch on the Newbee side. KP doesn't want to be the one necessarily jumping in first if there's a bunch of heroes around, but do a good job to get that tier 1, get a bunch of damage on mid. Oh, they are smoked up now,
This is huge for Newbee if they can find it. Obviously, SCCC just wants to sit behind this and take the tower. And there is no glyph, so this tower will fall one way or the other. Bird is trying to scout things out again. Moogie smoked up. All of these heroes smoked up. They will take the tier 1, but on the high ground, they're going to jump in. Moogie, they're going to jump in looking for a black hole. Can't find it. Malphus will come out instead of the Ice Blast to come through the life drain. Shackle Shot will latch on to Moogie. He does have his reincarnation, mind you. They will get off the power shot. Moogie drops up the armlet, also getting tanked. They're going to have the Decrypt to come in as well, and Moogie's still alive. He has 17 wand charges on top of it. And so even with all of that damage committed, they still can't get the kill. In fact, I think they're going to back up. There is a shrine if they want to use it, but again, Newbee will secure the tier 1 tower. They get a kill, and they continue to add to this lead, which LFY, they just can't deal with yet.
Yeah, and look, Wraith King's farming. He can't actually, doesn't do any damage, but if his crit happens to proc, he gets the one shot. That's pretty funny looking.
Easy.
But yeah, they're really not, they haven't really been able to get these fights going too well. I'm just wondering how their initiation improves. I mean, maybe once Windranger picks up a blink, that gives him a little bit more catch. Of course, Kunkka's not bad, but his initiation is just run up and X somebody, which is a little bit tough.
Yeah.
And especially since the Wraith King's gonna be in the front.
like that, and Visage drop, trying to get some stuns off. I really do think the Blink Dagger is needed for Inflame, but he has a Maelstrom queued up right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him change that item choice. I think they do need that initiation.
I think Newbee saw this smoke, but I'm not sure. Like, it did hit the Razor.
I don't think he's concerned. Moogie's about to lose his Ankh.
He does.
There's the Torrent. He has the armlet. He will get it off in time. The Shackle Shot will come in. Wraith Fire Blast to follow up. There it is, the Reincarnation. Life Drain already at Monet, almost dead. They need to Overgrowth. They're going to find it. The Ice Blast will certainly hit, and now Monet is in some serious trouble. Black Hole on the other side. They found Super. He's in trouble. Earned down, and then the Chilling Fingers coming in from Faith, getting the kill. Shackle Shot will last to the tree, but it's just time to run here if you're LFY. Wraith Fire Blast is up. Moogie now dropping in Flame. He's got Wind Run. He also has a Haste Rune. It's the reason why he's still alive for now. TP from Afu will be successful. He will get out. On the other side, DDC is dropped. Still trying to chase after this Wind Ranger. I think they have another blink in just a second here, but Moogie's not going to go for it. It is a 3-for-0 trade for Newbee. And again, that Black Hole, even though it's used on just Super, more than worth it. And that is a giant fight for Newbee, and 1,000 gold going their way as well.
I mean, like we've been saying, the Wraith King just doesn't really care about getting initiated on, and he's not going to give them too many more options, is the thing. If the Wraith King's just kind of running it, they kind of got a catch, but awkward spot, and as we're already seeing, this Enigma is just putting in so much work. The Razor, I can't decide how I feel about Razor in this patch. I don't know if he's just looking like he's not such a great hero, or if we haven't been seeing him in the right situations, or what the deal is. But what's your take, Travis?
The Razor?
Yeah,
I think it's a good hero. I think he should be doing really well. I think they don't have the heroes to pair with. They need that initiation. Razor needs to be able to run around in the fights unmitigated, not getting stopped or slowed down. They have to have that initiation to let him do that kind of ability to make space for him, and that's just not really happening in these fights. So he kind of has to function as the guy that just runs in with no lockdown. And then you're just like, well, what am I doing here exactly? I'm getting kited. So
the situation might improve a little bit once the Jug gets his Manta, because then they at least have a bit more of a mana burn threat on the Wraith King, and they can potentially go on him first. Right. But we'll see.
Which Monet, very good dodge of that Wraith Fire Blast, but there's the Overgrowth into the Ice Blast coming in. Moogie doesn't have a second life. They're going to have to Ghost Shift. He's in trouble, and he's going to get dropped down. The Omni Slash coming in as well as Triple C, but there's the Life Drain. Monet will fall. It's a 1-for-1 trade now. Now 2-for-1 as Super gets a double kill. They're all in the tree line. KP, no Black Hole for 50 seconds. They're going to X marks back. Another Faith is getting whipped down. Super, one more auto attack away. Faith trying to dodge to the tree line. A triple kill for Super, but KP will take him down. It looks like the tower hit's going to work. It's 4-for-2 now on one side, but KP, he's caught. LFY, they're going to wipe Newbee. KP will drop down, and they're going to get the kill in Flame, doing some serious damage there. A 5-for-3 fight, and LFY taking 3,000 gold back from Newbee, and now they're putting it even more into this tier 2 tower, trying to get even more gold out of the fight.
I don't know what's up with Newbee taking that fight. They don't have the reincarnation for the Wraith King. It's still on cooldown for 30 seconds even now, and the Black Hole is only on cooldown for another 15. I think that even if they just waited for the Black Hole, the BKB Black Hole would have immediately won them the next fight, but instead Moogie just went blinking in, didn't get the immediate Wraith Fire Blast off, just got locked down by the Kunkka and died. So bit of a setback, but still feeling pretty confident with Newbee's position. LFY do also take this as an opportunity to get a little bit of vision down around the place, which might set them up for some future moves. And I think Newbee have to be careful, because the next sort of Black Hole being down window, they could lose the tier 1 mid and like potentially a Roshan, and then their lead is not necessarily as secure. I still think they have the inevitability of the Enigma in the late game. I think KP's probably going to win them this game, but they still have to be careful.
Yeah, I agree.
Make sure that they fight with the Black Hole.
Yeah, and it is back up now. The reincarnation is back up. Part of the reason why that was such a rough fight is because I think he had level 1 reincarnation there after that first fight when he lost his ultimate. He has level 2 reincarnation now, which makes things a bit easier. And of course, when you get level 3, you only have 40-second downtime, which is really not an issue at all. So you need to be careful, not just around fighting around this Black Hole, but fighting around the reincarnation as well. And if you're LFY, you're going to try to poke and prod. You're going to try to find a pick off, but they might lose heroes in the meantime. There is a lot of newbies swarming around mid, swarming around this Roche pit. LFY have very good vision, and they're also pushing bottom with Monet, who is working on this Manta style, like you mentioned. This is all of a sudden looking pretty doable for them, despite being down almost 10k in net worth. They have caught back up. It's only a 5k disadvantage for them. And we will see what Newbee decide to do. They're going to make something happen. The question is, what are they going to make happen?
I mean, they've got all kinds of... Newbee have all kinds of options in this situation. I'm surprised that they don't try and mount any kind of defense for the bottom tower. I guess maybe just waiting for the item on the Wraith King to come up. If they really wanted to force a fight, they could potentially just head into the Roshan pit, but I think that is a little bit dangerous against the LFY supports with the familiar drops and all the Kunkka's AoE.
Right.
Still have to show at least a little bit of respect to their teamfight potential.
They do a lot of damage for Newbee, but they get caught without some of these defensive items and abilities, and suddenly things get a little bit harder. Newbee, Kaka going to try to make something happen on Afu, but Afu will back himself up. There's a sentry nearby, so if Kaka walks up that high ground, he's just dead, as LFY are taking the enemy Ancients. Still, they have the Blink Initiation from Mugi. He has his Reincarnation. If anybody wants to go up to the high ground, he certainly can. SCCC is a little bit alone from his team. He has the Kaya now picked up, so a very good item for pretty much any intelligence hero. Gives him the extra int, the spell amplification, and the mana cost and mana loss reduction, which makes things a lot easier for Pugna. Now he's working on an Aghanim Scepter, and Life Drain Ags is pretty damn good. So he is still a little bit behind that of Monet. They will smoke up. I don't know if that ward spotted them. I think it might not have. And they're going to head over to Roche for now for Newbee. And now the question is, what do LFY do, even if they know this smoke happened?
Yeah, it's tough. They don't really have a great position to take the fight. They could go all huddle on their shrine.
Oh, Afu luckily did drop the ghost ship, so he's actually a little bit more survivable, but not going to be that survivable. All right, so he's dead. He has buyback. They have now a Desolator newly minted. I like the familiars pulling them out of the Roche pit, actually pulling Roche out of the pit. So it kind of slows them down, but it might not matter. They need to be careful that this isn't snatched or stolen. They will get one. The second one is going to get dropped down. Power shot coming in. Meanwhile, split pushing bottom is Monet. This is going to be threatening the high ground. This is very dangerous for Newbee. They will get the other familiar more than likely. It's slowed down to an Oblivion. Mugi's really low. Power shot. That's the reincarnation. That's huge. Monet is still bottom. Blade Fury is spinning up the tier 3. Kaka has to TP back home. They can't take this. They have to go back and defend. In fact, they will TP another. And now LFY are going to try to head into the Roche pit here and finish this off. They have the Kunkka back up. He's going to have his ghost ship in 6 seconds as well. And Newbee, you've got BKB Black Hole. You need to be very careful with how you approach this for LFY, but they cannot take Roshan just yet. And the bottom lane continues to push in, and it looks like Mugi's going to have to come back and deal with it in the meantime.
Yeah, at the very least, it looks like LFY aren't going to be able to head into the pit themselves, but some very nice pressure coming in from Monet, knowing that he's fairly safe as well. I mean, he saw the Enigma the whole time on that ward, so he was pretty confident that he could keep going. I think if KP manages to get off map, he probably has to back off, and that's kind of how they got that D ward. I think, knowing that, like, oh, how is this Jug so confident when our Enigma is hiding up on this high ground?
Right.
But in the end, LFY just continue to kind of hold their spot. I think they're outdoing Newbee pretty heavily in terms of the vision game.
I was gonna say, and not just the vision, but the pressure on the map as well. Newbee are kind of stuck in this sort of a position here. They can't move across the river. LFY, I think, are getting more of the map, which is really going to help them. They now have a Maelstrom up on the Wind Ranger, so he can farm more. He's about to have an Aghanim Scepter here in a moment. Monet is getting a lot of farm. Super is still really farmed. Yes, you have to deal with KP, who is a Midas, and Mugi, who is, again, still farming out of control, but they are really keeping these lanes pressured. The good news for Newbee is this tier 1 is still alive and will continue to be alive as long as Kaka is up with the living armor. He now has a Blink Dagger, by the way, so Overgrowth is a potential initiation factor for Newbee. Not just the Blink Black Hole or Malefice or Wraith Fire Blast. They have the Overgrowth to work with. And maybe this is going to make them feel a bit more confident trying to go for something like Roshan in the next couple of moments. So we'll see. Both these teams are grouping up here, Base Kid.
Yeah, they've got the BKB up on the Razor now. We were talking about Super needing not to be controlled in these fights, and this is certainly going to help out. Well, can they find a crucial jump?
Smoke was not spotted. I don't believe. Newbee are going to wrap around on the other direction. They're heading in the Roche pit for now. They'll drop a sentry. Faith will lead the way. They're about to run right into each other. No, they're going to head in 2 different directions. They'll see Inflame mid with the power shot coming up. There's the plasma field as well, and it looks like LFY. They will reveal themselves, but now Newbee are going to make the play here. They're going to jump in with Kaka. They see him with the sentry. I believe the smoke broke. In fact, yeah, they definitely know he's here. and LFY will back themselves up. But the backstab, Wraith Fire Blast, Ice Blast to come in, DDC's in trouble, the Ghost Ship to come through. They've got the leech sheet on top of it, DDC's in trouble. There's going to be the Static Link Overgrowth. Kaka's got to run. He's losing 105 damage, the force forward. Super still linking him, 168 stolen. One down now on both sides. Here comes Moogie. Super pops the BKB. Moogie doesn't have one. Reincarnation, Black Hole, onto 2. Life Drain, Wind Ranger in trouble. She's going to get dropped down in Flame. It's Super. He's losing out on life, and he's going to lose out on damage in a moment here as well. He gets to the shrine. He will stay alive on the other side of the fight, though. Moogie, he's already used the Reincarnation. He's in trouble. Mode omnes him down, and that's going to be more than enough. They will buy back on Inflame, and Faith will be next as well on the other side of the fight. Super is still alive, and Inflame is also. SCCC the leech. Is it going to be enough? He's still got the life drain going. Just about to get it, but now the familiar break comes in, and SCCC cannot finish off Inflame, which would have been a dieback. 3 dead for Newbee. They're looking for more, but I don't think they can find anybody else as Mode is running and trying to find this. SCCC will go for the TP. They jump, and the Shackle Shot is there. Beautifully done. The Wind Ranger will still die for it, but SCCC now, he's going to get dropped. A triple kill for Monet. The buyback there from LFY. They will still lose Super on the back end of it, but that is fighting into a BKB black hole, and now they're going to find Kaka again. He's got Blink up in 3. He's got Nature's Guys. It won't save him. He'll drop a ward down in the meantime. The Torrent, the Soul Assumption, the kill. LFY have brought this game back at least a little bit. Maybe they can get Roshan out of this. Moogie is going to respawn, but LFY, what will they do next, Base Kip? Jesus.
I don't know. They want an objective out of that, especially given that they committed the Wind Ranger buyback, but it looks like they might not be able to get anything. The 10-second BKB from the Razor doing so much work in that fight. Super managing to survive through the black hole, and then sort of giving his Jug the opportunity to deal with the Wraith King, because the Enigma and the Pugna were both kind of distracted, trying to finish him off as he ran off towards the shrine. But I don't know if that was... I was expecting Newbee to win that fight a little bit more cleanly, so losing it was definitely really nicely, you know, the fact that LFY won it was really good for them, but unfortunately they didn't really move forward too much. Though the Jug is starting to get pretty scary in terms of farm, and like we saw, he put in a ton of work in that last fight, so maybe that's the big hope for LFY, and that was the story yesterday, right? Monet putting the team on his back.
Yeah, and it feels like he's doing the same thing now. Moogie is starting to slow down in terms of how much work he's been doing. He's 2 levels away from the level 3 reincarnation. He's a couple hundred away from his Assault Cuirass, but what KP has now is BKB Blink Refresher Orb. He has level 3 hole ready already, so he's going to have 2 holes in whenever he wants, essentially. This orb is now done. It's flying out. The ward almost spotted it, I believe. In fact, it actually might have for a moment there, but now you got to be careful if you're LFY fighting into 2 black holes. Not going to be great. Ice Blast, meanwhile, Inflame, he's going to be able to win run away for now. Moogie's going to take a hit from the Maelstrom proc. The other side, the X marks on the Faith, who will force himself away as the Torrent misses. In the meantime, bottom lane Monet is split pushing this tier 3 tower. Not much damage to it, but again, the threat is always there, and Newbee now have to move down bottom and defend this tier 3 tower, at least push the wave out a little bit further.
I wonder if like a Hex as the next item crosses KP's mind as a way to potentially shut down this Jug's split push a little bit more. I mean, you can just black hole him, but maybe you don't want to commit it necessarily. Right. I think the lockdown could be good. I'm only talking about it because he's just farming so damn quickly, so he's probably going to have another item before too long. But LFY still playing this really great map control game. They've got the gem picked up on their Visage, and maybe they can find a good angle.
Here we go. Super might get jumped on. He's got BKB, Wraith Fire Blast. It's going to go. There's no fault. Black Hole is going to come through, and KP, they have no way of dealing with this. Super is dead immediately. The BKB wasn't in time from Super. The Refresher comes out. KP is looking for more. Wind run away from Inflame, and DDC also just flying out of there on the Visage. But now you have no Razor for 58 seconds. You have no buyback on the Razor. You still have another hole with another BKB from KP. Obviously, you would like to find more, but what you sure can find is probably going to be Roshan for this Radiant team.
Yeah, and there's conveniently there is a regen rune waiting just outside, so if Moogie does happen to drop really low again, like we saw him on the last Roshan attempt, we'll be able to top himself up. Actually, it's
well, they got the life trade. They've got the medic.
Yeah, they got the SCCC. He can donate the regen indirectly.
There it goes again. The familiars coming in. Wards will be dropped down. The nether ward is there. Kaka scouting at the familiars. He will hit one. Wraithfire blasted as well. One more still there. It's going to get dropped. No. He almost got it off in time, but a good nether blast from SCCC, and Moogie will take up the Aegis, and that is the first Roshan of the game at 32 minutes. So no Aegis, no Refresher Shard, not that KP needs one anyway. And still one more black hole to work with here for Newbee, and that is getting them back in this game here. Not that they were ever out of it to begin with, base kit.
Yeah, but their lead did get eroded pretty heavily. I mean, the graph was moving up towards 10K, but LFY have been fighting back fantastically for the last little bit. The next fight is very difficult for them to take, but at least they have decent spam. Right? They've got the power shot from the Wind Ranger, they've got the Razor with the plasma field. That's going to buy some time for this Jug to continue applying pressure, but unfortunately he doesn't really have a whole lot of vision down here at bottom. Without a good split pushing ward, he's not going to be able to apply pressure in the same way that he has been up until this point, because he kind of needs vision over the Shrine, and he wants some vision potentially over here at the tier 3, because he kind of needs to know where what Enigma is up to. Otherwise, it's not safe for him to do anything.
Yeah, he's realized he's backing up already. In the meantime, Faith, he can contribute across the map. He has Ice Blast to work with. He does have a gem, so whatever vision they have, or whatever detection they have, I think is from him. So they need to be a little bit careful. Speaking of gem, DDC has one as well, so actually a lot of vision for both teams. And again, the warding battle has been won by Newbee. To something, or excuse me, not Newbee, LFY. They've done a great job in the past few minutes, but now starting to lose their grasp on this vision battle. And now maybe even their tier 2 tower as well. Nether Blast will come out, but they have backdoor protection for a moment. SCCC is going to continue to spam. He has an Aghanim Scepter. He has a Blink Dagger, Kaya. He has everything he needs in order to find this tower kill. They will get the tier 2.
Newbee got to be careful. Their TP situation is a bit tenuous. Like, a lot of backpack TPs. The familiars are hunting around. If they get forced into a... Okay, they've realized what's going on. They're scanning down bottom as well. They're anticipating that there might be some shenanigans happening, and they're going to very safely back out and make sure that they get TPs back to defend. Yeah. They do not want to give away a tier 3 for free at this point. That would be a huge blunder.
That's the worst possible situation.
LFY, depending on how you want to think about it.
Yeah, and then they have Visage Birds, and then you're constantly dealing with the waves pushed in by the Jug. They're going to go for a black hole into super top lane. And the Decrep will come in. Life Drain just sucks him dry. SCCC. My God. KP, he's got another one at the ready as well. Refresher, will he use it now? Will he wait on it? He doesn't even need to use it. It's not like they're fighting anytime soon, so... Just a beautifully set up play from Newbee to find an easy kill, and Super will get dropped yet again for another 60 seconds.
Come on, KP, use the refresher for the Midas value. Let's
oh, come on, dude. Yes! Do it! No. Come on, on the Wild Wing, please. Yes, KP. He knows what's up. He understands.
Grant would be happy. He's all about the Midas efficiency.
Dude, he's so about the Midas efficiency. If KP's Midas was like off cooldown for even like 10 seconds, Grant would have been flipping out. Like the only thing he talks about when he sees a Midas in the game. Like, all right, dude, I get it. Anyway, that will be the best efficiency for KP. He is working on what seems to be an Octarine core, and he's actually rather close to it too. So they've got that. He already has a lot of cooldown reduction from the talent. And here's the good news for Newbee. If this game goes late enough, you get level 25 on your Pugna. 200 Nether Blast damage is quite significant. In the meantime, they're going to find DDC. He's going to get Glimmer Cape. They will dust him up. Moogie is chasing him down. He has Aegis, so he has 3 lives. The Static Link will come in. KP going to drop another black hole. Super's like, are you kidding? You just used this. But guess what? The Refresher coming in, and Super will get dropped. The Overgrowth coming in. KP's low. He will fall. Monet doing a lot of damage. He still has the Omni Slash at the ready. Won't be able to use it. Not yet. Kaka now getting forced away to stay alive. Moogie looking for Inflame. He had the Wind Run still going. The Life Drain. Fu is in some serious trouble. Dusted up. SCCC gets a double kill. Now back alive is going to be Moogie. He still has the Aegis to work with. Reincarnation down for 34. Omni Slash coming in. Hitting on 3, actually. Pretty good split from Newbee. SCCC torrented up. The Decrep, he's in some trouble. He's going to get dropped, and Kaka and Moogie now, they're getting low as well. They bought back an Afu. That might be enough to keep them in this game. Moogie has another life to work with, but he is in some serious trouble. He has no BKB, no way of getting out of this, and he is taking a lot of damage. He will get dropped again, down for 66 seconds, and Newbee perhaps getting a bit too aggressive coming in, and LFY, they will only lose 2. They have to buy back on Afu, but very good turnaround fight from them at the end of it.
KP just got shredded. He got focus fired by Inflame and just started disappearing. That was actually pretty scary.
That's before Aghanim Scepter, by the way. He has it now.
I mean, that's what their Razor doing. 0 damage, like you were saying. So just like, what is going on here? How many times am I going to get Black Hold? Am I really that important? He is the least farmed core on LFY. Some of that is probably due to the fact he's been getting Black Hold so much.
Right.
I can understand the priority because killing him off quickly means that he can't link up the Wraith King, and it makes the Wraith King's game a little bit easier to play. But LFY with a very nice turnaround, and Afu with that was a great ghost ship as well.
Yeah, very good buyback, very important, impactful buyback for Afu there. So that will swing things around a little bit for LFY. Obviously, no racks have been taken for either team. It's pretty early, 38 minutes in. We'll have another Roshan here within the next 5 minutes, 2 minutes at least. And now, like we talked about, we have the Aghanim Scepter for Inflame. So whatever damage he was doing before, he's doing a lot more now. And that's going to be pretty good. We will see if he can't start really becoming the carry in these fights. Monet, obviously having a very good game. That last fight was a bit rough for him. Having the 3-man Omni Slash actually was kind of a blessing in disguise because they brought all 3 of those heroes down at the end of the day. But we'll see. The Refresher Orb is back up for the Enigma. He's working on almost having level 25 and an Octarine Core. In fact, he's got it now. So KP will have even more cooldown reduction. Unlock your... There we go. Nicely done.
Just figure out how to build this darn thing.
He's got to use Jenga to figure out which items are going where. So he does. And now they will smoke up immediately. So his cooldown for Black Hole, 102 seconds at this point. Pretty good. All right.
Yeah. And he still has a little bit of room to grow. BOT2 going to be a pretty important item for him. They can have the Wraith King be out on the map hunting for something, and then just have the Enigma boost travel in to secure the kill.
It looks like they spotted Kaka running in. Inflame is about to get blinked on. Actually, it's DDC instead. Shackle Shot will come in, hits nicely. Here comes the Focus Fire. KP's going to find the Black Hole, though. They'll keep one alive. Kaka will still fall. Not enough damage coming out. They need another Black Hole. He's going to refresh. He's going to use it here in a moment. The Black Hole about to come out, but now the Bash coming out from Monet's Omni Slash. They will take down Mugi. That's going to be the reincarnation. KP, 2-man Black Hole. Huge from KP. Monet, they will get the kill, and they will take him down. Dead for 80 seconds. Buyback coming in from that win range, but Mugi is still going to work. It's now taking a lot of damage. Super in with 140 stolen static link damage. Looking for more. SCCC is on the run. He's got the decrypt for himself as well. The Birds also on the hunt. They're trying to leave. Mugi and SCCC looks like they're going to get away. No. Mugi gets shackled, but he's still fine. Focus Fire. He's going to get decrypt. He's got the arm on the toggle. The power shot just misses, and they're still chasing, but Mugi's going to get out. On the other side, Faith. He is not going to be so lucky. Super will stack him down. Although Faith, pretty speedy with that Ice Vortex. He doesn't want to lose this gem. He's got another 4-step. He's got TP Scroll now. Can Super find this kill? Faith trying to get into the tree line. Super's got Plasma Field. No. 5 seconds. Faith about to get whipped out, but he's fine. He will TP home. Somehow that Ancient Apparition played by Faith will keep the gem up and get them out of trouble. And that is a huge fight for Newbee yet again. Woo.
And I mean, LFY, they're sinking buybacks to keep themselves afloat. Pretty nice execution in that fight. We saw what Super can do when he's not getting Black Hold every single time. Put in quite a lot of work. Even some nice play from Monet microing the Healing Ward to keep the Wind Ranger up a little bit longer after she got hit by the Black Hole. But as we're starting to see, the idea of having a window of opportunity in between double Black Holes is kind of gone, right? KP with the Octarine and his cooldown reduction talent pretty much has both of them back off cooldown already before they can even think about pushing things too much further. Roshan has respawned, so that's probably the next big objective, and going to be quite important for LFY since they, did just use that core buyback.
I was thinking for Mugi, when is he going to pick up this item? He obviously needed the Assault Cuirass first, but the BKB, I think, is a particularly big item for the Wraith King. Once he has that, plus like an Aegis or Cheese, I don't think he's unkillable, but he's very hard to deal with. That is something to consider if you're LFY. They will scout out that Roshan is up. Both teams know it. Kaka's on the run. He's got a blink if he wants to go for an Overgrowth play. Monet blinks himself out of trouble. He went back towards the Shrine. And one of these teams could try to take this quickly. Obviously, Newbee have the better positioning as of right now. But we'll slow things down a bit. Newbee have an invis on Wraith King. Does DD still have the gem? He does. Somehow he got it back. Even though he died in that fight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I really want to see a Lotus somewhere on Newbee if they can get one. I think it's like a potentially game-winning here if you get a if you reflect Omni Slash.
There's going to be the BKB just in time with the BKB Black Hole for KP, and Super will fall. Ghost Ship will not save him. Omni Slash coming in, hitting onto 3 at this point, and now they've got to find another Black Hole. A lot of damage from the power shot. Now Monet spinning it up, but he will fall as well. Overgrowth comes out perfectly timed from Kaka. Monet is forced to buy back. Mugi still has his reincarnation. KP He's already used both of his black holes. I don't even think he cares if he dies, but he's going to get life drained by SCCC, and that might be the beginning of the end, as there is no Wind Ranger for 100 seconds. Monet is forced to buy back, but not really able to get back into the fray, and that means that this is going to be an easy Roche, and potentially a lot more here for Newbee.
If you're just spamming well played.
Well played.
He knows he's rocking it. He's got the highest net worth, doing a crazy amount of damage. The enemy team can't really do anything about him. With the BKB black holes, and LFY are just running out of resources to throw into these fights. I feel like LFY are executing so well, but it's just the Newbee draft that's really really crushing them.
It's kind of what it's felt like in a lot of these Captain's Draft games. It feels like one team just has the overall better draft and they're able to execute, and Newbee have felt that way since the get-go. Kind of comes down to what is Inflame accomplished compared to KP. Not to say Inflame has played poorly, but it's just different heroes.
Yeah, it's totally a hero thing. But it's cool to see a game like this be, well, not a game like this, but to see a Captain's Draft game be close, because I feel like a lot of the games that we have had in Captain's Draft have been somewhat stompy. One-sided
for sure, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, has that been the case for the other regions that you've been
I'm not
covering?
sure. NA was rather, well, that's not true. The Grand Finals were a stomp for complexity, so I guess it's more of a Captain's Draft thing than it is a region thing.
Yeah.
I think the games have been a bit closer in terms of overall for every region, but there definitely have some. There's been some seriously stompy games. This one, like you said, pretty close. And
look at this Pugna. He's got the Nether Blast damage. He's got an Arcane Rune.
That's not even fair. It's a 3-second cooldown. Dude, this tier 3 is just dead. They don't even want to glyph it. SCCC can just keep doing this. The level 25 talent is amazing, by the way.
I want to see all the Enigma Eidolons as well. He took the 70
Monet? I don't know. He's got no Blade Fury now. The Overgrowth is going to come in. DDC is going to get dropped down. KP's going to hit the black hole onto nothing. The Illusions will get dropped. They do at least get Inflame, actually. He was the one that was caught by it, but they weren't looking for him, potentially. I think they were looking for Super and Monet. In the meantime, KP's going to come back in. Another black hole. This time they will find the Jug. He is about to die back, as it were. He will Omni Slash to stay alive for now. He's actually doing a lot of damage to Mugi, who is a cheese. He will eat. He doesn't even want to use the Reincarnation. Monet will blink himself out. He actually stays alive. They'll buy back at a DDC. Blade Fury gets him away. On the other side, Super can't get up to the high ground. He just used the Hurricane, but he slides into the wall, and he will fall. Dead for 79 seconds. They used the Aegis, I believe, which was just the Reincarnation, actually, from Mugi. I don't even know if they've used Aegis yet. It's still on SCCC. So they have numerous lives, and they're showing it here. Newbee going to take the base, more than likely going to take this first game. GG is called. LFY, they put up a damn good fight, but KP with one of the best Enigma performances you're ever going to see, I think.
So good. Such a good game from KP. He did really well in the lane. He got all those denies. I think only one really glaring mistake from Newbee, which was taking that top fight with no Reincarnation and no black hole, which kind of set them back. I think if not for that, this game may have ended like 10 minutes earlier or something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, what else can we talk about? KP just did fantastically. I do have to